Turn on the light. You never saw your father. You are standing in the holy fire now. This ain't a metaphor, it's a mirror. You've walked into the darkness and called it a room. You turned out the light and wondered why your vision lied to you. You said, "Come in, Father," but what you really meant was, "Come into my pain." And then you blamed him for not being what you imagined he should be. But it wasn't him you were seeing. It was your own projection, your guilt on his face, your abandonment tattooed on his absence. Because you couldn't stand to look at your own belief in separation, you made him the cause. You made your father the screen where the whole movie of your heartbreak could play. And every time he stumbled, every time he didn't measure up, the ego shouted, "See, I knew it." But what were you really trying to prove? You didn't want a father. You wanted a stand-in for God. You wanted a man in form to be the source in spirit. You wanted him to be perfect so you wouldn't have to forgive. Because if he's perfect, you're justified in your resentment when he fails. If he's perfect, you don't have to heal. Let's tell the truth here. The whole narrative of the failed father is the ego's cover story for a broken image of God. A wrathful God. A silent God. A God who left you behind. And who did that sound like? It sounded like your father, didn't it? But let's flip the lights on now. Let's just flip them on. Because when you see in the light, you see there was no absence, only a shadow you mistook for truth. You see a man doing the best he could under the weight of his own pain. You see a story, not a villain. You see a projection, not a person. And maybe, just maybe, you see yourself. The abandoned son who became the abandoning parent. The child who swore, "I'll never be like him," only to become the mirror, the echo, the reverberation of unhealed thought. But here's the mercy, mighty companion. You were never abandoned, not by your father, not by God, not even by yourself. You just turned out the light and called it reality. You judged the form and missed the call for love underneath it. You asked for his perfection and denied your own. So let's walk back in that room. Let's walk in with the light on. Let's invite the Father, not just the man, but the capital F Father, into that space. And when you see him now, you don't need a backstory. You don't need an apology. You don't need a better childhood. You just need vision. Christ vision. And that vision sees beyond the junkie, the deadbeat, the cheater, the ghost. That vision sees the Son of God in him and in you. The story was never about what your father did. It was always about what you believed you lacked. And now you know, nothing real was ever missing. Only the light was. So turn it on. Turn it on, mighty companion, and see your father. Maybe for the first time. That's forgiveness, and it sets you free.